Mirror's Edge Catalyst, EA Dice reinvents its world of free running and rebellion in a beautiful but oppressive near-future dystopia. To bring you up to speed on the release that fans have been waiting 8 years for, we donned our swanky trainers and go fast lycra to bring you everything you need to know about Mirror's Edge Catalyst. As follow-up to the 2008 original, Mirror's Edge Catalyst serves as a sequel/reboot/prequel. It's fundamentally an origin story that's based off last year's comic book series, Mirror's Edge Exordium. Exordium being a fancy word for introduction. There we saw orphan, rebel, and runner extraordinaire Faith end up in jail for all sorts of misdemeanors and the theft of one particularly valuable vaccine. Fast forward to Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and our parkour powerhouse protagonist has just been released from juvie after a 2-year stretch.
Enjoy your freedom.
She immediately heads back to her old ways, meeting up with mentor and father figure Noah, who leads the runner cabal that Faith is part of.
I heard some runner got out of juvie today.
I heard she's eager to run.
Other important people in Faith's life include best friend Nomad, as well as shady entrepreneur and fixer Dogan, to whom Faith owes a whole lot of cash.
It's not like you owe me anything.
And who holds a number of secrets connected to her mysterious past. Then there's Icarus, new boy and cocky runner who's distrustful of Faith and needles her at every opportunity.
Don't get lost.
Gabriel Kruger, head of Krugersec, the security firm that keeps the city and its employees in line.
Stop her!
And Rebecca Thane, the no-nonsense head of rebel activist group Black November.
Barely out of prison and already stirring things up.
It looks like Faith will have to walk the line between these many competing influences in her life if she's to uncover more about her own past and the city that she now inhabits. There are two sides to the City of Glass. The first is a glossy, high-sheen world of precise minimalist design, constructed and controlled by a conglomerate of corporate families. Here, the majority of society lives a seemingly idyllic but oppressed existence, where everyone has a place, a punch card, and a responsibility to contribute to the systems that run their lives.
You were supposed to be on your way to Food Dome Epsilon 3 days ago. Subdue them.
Then there's the grimier, less polished side to the city, in which people who rebel against the corporation's prescribed caste system and intrusive control have slipped through the cracks to carve out their own way in the world, off the grid.
Rest for promotion. Wear Pirandello.
There you go. You're off the grid.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst offers up both sides of the city as an open world through which Faith performs the runs that earn her a living and makes her who she is. Using an expanded set of moves and tools, you'll explore these two sides of the city and witness them frequently clash with one another. The results are often tense, brutal, and sometimes explosive as tempers boil over and extreme measures are taken. Faith's runs through the City of Glass are aided by her Beat Link, a kind of augmented reality system used by runners to highlight paths through the world. It's also through this Beat Link system that player-created challenges called dashes can be created and customized. These appear in your game world to challenge you and your friends to display dazzling feats of acrobatic skill against the clock, or that will occasionally see you, plummet to your death when you misjudge a leap. Those looking for a purer experience will be pleased to hear that the extent of Faith's runner's vision can be adjusted, so you can choose between full guidance, subtle highlights, or to switch it off entirely. The Beat Link also guides you during combat, offering training scenarios for you to get to grips with Faith's moves and to keep track of tricksy enemies that often try to surround you. Fighting in Mirror's Edge is punchy, compact, and often performed at speed and on the fly. Use of momentum can see Faith barely miss a beat as she charges straight by, and sometimes straight through, enemies. Faith won't be firing any guns in Mirror's Edge Catalyst, thank goodness. Instead, she'll use the same impressive strength and acrobatic prowess that power her parkour moveset as a weapon to take down Krugersec forces with an array of crunchy close-quarter attacks. Variety is key. Using the same moves too often will enable your enemies to learn your patterns and respond to them, so you're going to need to mix it up if you're going to keep Faith out of trouble and on the move. And finally, in our roundup of what you need to know, it's no exaggeration to say that one of the defining characteristics of the original Mirror's Edge was the soundtrack. Happily, musician Solar Fields is back once again for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Here, the pumping percussion mirrors the action and responds to your moves, cranking up the tempo when Faith is in full runner's mode and dialing it back to an elegant minimalism to frame the quieter moments. All in all, the City of Glass is as incredible to listen to as it is to look at and explore. For more on Mirror's Edge Catalyst, keep your Beat Link locked right here to IGN.